Hey, Titans Nation. Sorry if I look a bit sunburned in the face. I got lots of sunburns over the weekend. Got a haircut too. But yeah, we're back on the Titans Talk podcast. Yeah. Um, some of the Titans depth chart leaked, and I feel like this is a good time now to talk about the depth chart before, NFL season, and we got preseason to go through. Here, I'm gonna get a drink of water. I'll be back. Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm making. Guess I tend to make more of my videos closer to nighttime, cause I'm going to bed after this video. I'm already getting tired now. Yeah, we got the pad here, tablet, so I can show you all. I got this screenshot from the Tune Tone podcast, so uh, shout out to Brad Steele on the Two Tone Talk. Yeah, we got this. We are going to be pointing out the Titans depth chart. Here, let me. Uh, Okay, there should be best brightness. Okay, so starting off, obviously, how about we go to quarterback first? I mean, I could go up top to bottom, but I feel like it's best to start at quarterback QB. We got a surprise already. Well, first, of course, number one is Cam Ward, but second, Mitchell Trubisky is showing up over Will Levis. I mean, yeah, Will Levis has struggled in training camp. I mean, Tennessee, Will Levis's days are numbered, right? And that's sad because just 2 years ago, he was my favorite player in the league. And he's still one of my favorite players. I mean, he's still a good guy at heart, right? I know he was saying, talking about being a dang good QB, saying that he deserves a starting job as a quarterback. Now, I talked about this earlier on the podcast, and yes, I will say he's better than Geno Smith, and yeah, I'd probably take him over Shador Deshaun, but then you can argue him over Kirk Cousins, Fernando Mendoza, uh, trying to think. Yeah, Vikings, Kyler Murray, or even 9. But overall, there's some other backup quarterbacks that I feel like I'd take over some starting quarterbacks. Like, I'd take Justin Fields over Geno Smith any day of the week. So yeah, Will Levis, I mean, really, the only reason we haven't released Will is because we're trying to get a trade for him, and I feel like now it's a minimum of a 7th, really. But yeah, we got Mitch over Will. It's a shame, man. I really don't want to see Will go. I like our quarterback room with Cam, Mitch, Will, and Hendren Hooker. I mean, Hendren Hooker, he's just gonna be, there in case Will's gonna get traded. If not, then cut. So we can. Mitch is the backup, then Hendren Hooker will kind of just be the guy to step up, I guess, the third string. If we go the halfback, okay. Rookies are underlined, by the way, if you couldn't tell already. I know I barely showed this to you guys. But yeah, if we go the halfback, I mean, it's labeled running back. Lots of people, most people do call it running back. I call it halfback, right? Because quarterbacks are a quarterback of the field, halfbacks are halfback in the field, and fullbacks are fully back in the field, right? Like, if you want to call halfback running back, then you should just call quarterback throwing back. But yeah, and like some running backs are not even mostly running, right? They're throwing or receiving. So I'd call them halfback. But yeah, we've got Tony Pollard starting, of course. You know, I don't know why people. I can zoom in too. I don't know why people act like Tony Pollard is a bad player. Like, some people are literally acting like Tony Pollard is just some washed 35-year-old man that's not nearly as good as he used to be. No. Right? Tony Pollard, this is his fourth 1,000 rushing yard season in a row. He just went back-to-back with the Titans, right? I mean, sure, I guess you could say he's old for a halfback, but he's only like 27, 28. Really, that'd just be in the prime of his career if it was any other position. And honestly, this may be a hot take, but honestly, I feel like people are saying we got to get our franchise halfback, but really, I'd say I'd wait another year, like after this season in the off season, because Tony Pollard, he's still in his prime, right? Then we can give Tajay Spears and Nick Singleton, the rookie, some time, right? And then Michael Carter will probably reach the roster. So yeah, here's what we're looking at now. So I feel like we don't need to try focusing on getting Cam Ward a franchise running back or halfback until 2028 off season. And yeah, after that, after TP, we got Tajay Spears and Michael Carter. He's made his way up. Just talked about him and Nick Singleton and Tajay. But yeah, I feel like Tajay Spears, give him some years, give Spears the years that rhyme. They got his card up there. I guess you can't see it from this camera angle. I've been a Tajay Spears fan, and I think he can be, right, a good player to keep on your team. He can be a good halfback, too. A good halfback, too. Not a good halfback, too, is in the word. Yeah, I feel like... And he could maybe even still be the guy. I mean, if you watched the way he was playing on his rookie year, then, you would understand this guy could be so good in the NFL. So we definitely need another year of Tajay after this year. Yeah, then we have Michael Carter, actually, reaching as the third string. I expected Nick Singleton to be on here, but if you look at the list, all the rookies are ranked low. Right? They're really prioritizing the veterans on here, which I understand, right? You want to start off with the veterans, give the rookies some time maybe later in the year. So yeah, Michael Carter, yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, we were talking about the rookies. Michael Carter making it over Nick Singleton. I mean, yeah, Michael Carter, right? He was on the Jets. I think we picked him up from the Cardinals, right? Actually, I remembered him to do pretty good at the Jets. He had that one good game against the Colts in 2021. Him and Jonathan Taylor, they both did good that game. Yeah, Tajay and Michael Carter. I'd put Nick Singleton over him in the long run, but Michael Carter, he should make the roster, right? Then if we go here, the third strings, Julius Chestnut, Callow Mullins, and Nick Singleton. So yeah, Julius and Callow, yeah, they're probably gonna they're really likely to make the practice squad, and that is a shame because Julius Chestnut, I mean, I was just talking about him the other day in training camp. He actually has been showing up, right? And he's been on our team for a while. He's right there on the picture frame. Here, let me back that up. See him there, Cam Ward, the Titans and Saints game. Looks like he was giving up his gloves, right? So, I, too, want him to be on the Titans. But I do want him to be on our team, but I mean, the best four are really Tony, Tajay, Nick, and Michael. Michael Carter, I really felt was underrated, right? Like, if he was given the true chance, he really could have been a halfback, too, for another team. So I'm not complaining about Michael Carter making the roster over him. And then, yeah, Callum Mullings, rookie from last year. It was a third string. We expected, like, some people were expecting him to step up. He didn't. That's going to be a shame. Yeah, I expect our four halfbacks to be Tony, Tajay, Michael, and Nicholas Singleton. Receivers, I don't know how to read these off. Okay. Alright, here how I'm gonna read it off. So receiver 1's gonna be Carnell Tate. I mean, yeah, in the long run, he's gonna be the receiver 1. I mean, I can see Wan'Dale having the better year, right? People are forgetting about Wan'Dale. I mean, he had 1,000-yard receiving season, had a lot of receptions, and I mean, most of the time he was playing with. I mean, sure, he had Malik Neighbors. They're like, Jackson Dart was injured a lot, right? And when he was healthy, for a good chunk of his prime with Brian Daboll, he was focusing on throwing to Malik Neighbors. And then besides that, he had to deal with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. So I expect him to do even better, if not the same, with Cam Ward, and he's got Brian Daboll back. And Carnell Tate. But yeah, Carnell Tate, then I'm assuming it's Carnell Tate, right? Because after that, Bryce Oliver, right? Because it go Carnell Tate, Wan'Dale Robinson, Calvin Ridley, Alec Isle Manor, Chimere DK, and then Alec Isle Manor's backing up Calvin Ridley, and Chimere DK's backing up Wan'Dale, and Bryce is backing up Carnell, and Bryce is the worst out of those three. So I'm assuming Carnell's 1, and with the lineup 2, that should mean he's 1. Then 4, Wan'Dale or number 4, receiver 2, sorry, I'm tired. Receiver 2, Wan'Dale Robinson, yeah, that makes sense. I got something in my eye, too. Yeah, we already know it was Carnell and Wan'Dale up there, the receiver duo. Then we have Calvin Ridley over Alec Isle Manor. I mean, honestly, I expect Alec Isle Manor to take that receiver 3 spot over Calvin. I mean, Calvin, he just had a season-ending injury. He's like 32 years old. Signed into a 4-year deal, so he's on the 3rd year of his contract. I mean, I feel like one of the main reasons we re-sign him so he could be a veteran to Carnell Tate, right? He could be a leader to him. And then Alec Isle Manor. I mean, Alec's been showing up in OTA's training camp, right? I mean, have you seen the pictures of him? He has gotten into really good shape over the offseason. He's jacked. So yeah, I expect Alec Isle Manor maybe to step up over Ridley, but we'll have to get into the games for that to happen. Maybe after a few games. So Carnell, Wandell, Ridley, Ellick, then 5 would be DK. Mostly a return specialist, but he can still be a good receiver. And then that 6 spot. So it's supposed to be going to Bryce Oliver. I mean, see, we got, Mason Kinsey. I mean, signed my football, right? He was a solid receiver for Cam to throw to last year. Xavier Restrepo, I mean, Cam Ward's former teammate at Miami, at the U. And then KJ Osborne. I'm a fan of him. Actually, I found him to be really underrated at Minnesota. Like, not when he was getting more popular in 23, but like when he was like in 2021, 22, that time. And then Hank Beatty, I mean, signed my Titans out. He went to University of Illinois. I know you can't see what I'm pointing at, but if you've seen other videos of mine, then you know what I'm pointing at. I might need to get a drink of water. But here, we'll finish talking about receivers. I really want him to make the roster, but they'll probably go the practice squad. I mean, undrafted free agent, quite certain. Then we have Courtney Jackson and Tyron Montgomery. Yeah, Tyron Montgomery, the undrafted rookie of this year. That name comes to mind. Don't really know about Courtney Jackson. I'm not going to lie to you all and act like I know everything about the Titans roster. I mean, sure, I can name about 50 players on the roster, right? But that's still nothing, really, compared to their practice squad, their roster, their preseason roster. Out of everything, knowing 50, that's just knowing the basics. Yeah, then we got tight ends. Get to that real quick. I feel like we all know who the tight ends are anyway. Okay, tight ends. So we got Gunnar Helm, the starter, of course. He is one of those Titans that is just set for a breakout year. Had a decent rookie year, I mean. Backup tight end behind Chig. I do expect him to do good things. Then, behind him, we got the veteran from New York, Dan Bellinger, reuniting with Brian Daboll. Yeah, and then surprise here, well, for me at least, we got Kylen Granson now. I'm going to be honest here. I mean, I know he's a third-string tight end, but I don't know who he is. But I do know who David Martin Robinson and Jaron Kanak is. Jaron Kanak was our 7th-round pick tight end, and David Martin Robinson, he was pretty good with us last year. I mean, he was decent. He got a touchdown against the Raiders. That's about all I remember of it. He was a name that you would see him, like, you would know he's a solid guy. Okay, now we'll move on to the offensive line, and this is a lot of surprises here. Alright, read these off for you. Left tackle, Dan Moore Jr. Left guard, Peter Skoronski just signed into a $100 million deal. $80 million guaranteed, 4 years. Highest paid guard in the NFL. I mean, top 10, top 15 offensive lineman in the NFL entirely. That's the only lineman we can really rely on. Then at center, surprise here for me at least, we got Austin Slotman over Pat Coogan, the rookie out of Indiana, one of the best blockers in college football. I feel like we had him at a steal for the fifth, fifth round. I think it was fifth. Then we got Cordell Volson at right guard. Over Fernando Carmona, really our fifth round guard out of Arkansas. Pat Coogan was out of Indiana. I mean, Fernando Carmona, right? He was actually popping up at training camp too, just today. You know, I expect Fernando and Pat to step up. Jackson Slater, I feel like's got to get in that starting 5 too. Our offensive line. This is looking rough, man. Oh, these fifth round rookies we're having to rely on. J.C. Latham, I mean, if he doesn't have a breakout year, then he's gonna. I mean, he has to have a breakout year, right? He's the second best guy we've got behind Peter Skronsky, and J.C. Latham's been quite disappointing, right? I love J.C. Latham, right? Got his signature, took a picture, right? God bless J.C. Latham's soul, okay? But when it comes to blocking in the regular season, these past 2 years, he has not been the guy to step up. I mean, I remember Jeffrey Simmons was calling him out on low effort last year in training camp. But from what I've seen, J.C. Latham was doing some drills when I was at training camp. He seems like he's gained a lot more muscle. I think he can have a breakout year. Right, I'm putting my trust in J.C. Dan Moore, I mean, we signed him to a 3-year, $72 million deal. I didn't like it when we got it. That was an extreme overpay, and it's shown not to pay out. I mean, you can't pay the left tackle who allowed the most sacks out of any tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2024. You can't pay him 3 years, $72 million, and they did, and he did not turn out well. Last time we had a consistent offensive line was in 2021 with Ben Jones and Taylor Lewan. Then we've got Austin Slotman and Cordell Volson, two guys that I've just remembered today. Slotman, yeah, I remember that. Backup center for Lloyd Cushenberry. Cordell Volson, I'm even less familiar with than Slotman. Then, I mean, backup center over Pat Coogan, got Pat Coogan's signature. Andre James, and third string right guard is Garrett Dellinger. Backup right tackle Brandon Crenshaw Dixon and Zachary Thomas. Okay. Backup left guard is Jackson Slater. Darth Slater, as he goes by. He's a huge Star Wars fan. Okay. Lots of people were calling Darth Slater to be the right guard, and I was too, you know. I mean, I'm a fan of this guy. Darth Slater, I don't watch Star Wars, but that's a cool nickname. That really goes well with Jack Slater. Or Darth Vader. It's Darth Slater. Drew Moss is the third string left guard. Don't know. Left tackle, Dan Moore. Backups, Austin DeKeelis and Mil Wagner. Alright, that concludes the offense. Now we go down to the defense. Yeah, this is raising some questions too. Yeah, offensive line's our main weakness, but our second main weakness is those cornerbacks. I'm going to get to them later. We're going to go top of the offensive line first, and that's what I first think of. Then we'll go to the linebackers, cornerbacks, and then safeties. And then we'll do special teams last. It says rookies are underlined right there. as of August 9th, so we are about a day late on this. 2 days late by the time this gets uploaded. Okay. Defensive end, Jermaine Johnson, yeah. He's definitely going to be our best guy out of everyone there. I remember him. I heard about him on the Two Tone Talk podcast, that he was trying to go for, what was it, like 11 to 14 sacks, 10 to 15, somewhere like that. And, I mean, if he's saying that, I mean, his best year was with Robert Saleh in his rookie year, right? Robert Saleh believes in him, and Robert Saleh is one of the best defensive masterminds in the NFL. He plays fast and violent. That's what Robert Saleh wants. I feel like I'm getting down. It's like a cough or something. We're okay. Yeah, Jermaine Johnson. Throat feels clearer now. Jermaine Johnson. Yeah, we can deal with that. He's a solid edge rusher. I'd definitely take that. Olafemi Oladojo. Oladejo. Yeah, I pronounced it right. Oladojo, I think. He's the backup edge rusher. Yeah. I mean, him, Keldrick Falk, the young guys. I mean, he's been dealing with a lot of injuries, but when he's starting, he could do good. I mean, he was our second round pick in 2025. We got to get something out of that. So, yeah, him and Keldrick Falk, sophomore and rookie, the two young guys. I could see them being the guy with Jermaine Johnson. Third string, Malik Herring. Alright. Defensive tackles. Big Jeff, of course. I don't feel like we need to even think about anyone else. Then backups. Solomon Thomas. Top 4 pick with the Niners in 2017 draft. He went to the Jets, Cowboys, and Tennessee after that, I think. So, Niners, Jets, then Cowboys, and then Titans, I think. Pretty sure. Jackie Marshall, our 5th round pick, defensive tackle from Baylor. Then the two backups, we got Callan Sanders and Timmy Horn, who signed my football right there. Oh. '94 in the black Sharpie. The black Sharpie right there. Yeah, he's probably gonna go to the practice squad. But yeah, I'm happy he was still on the team. I don't think I saw his name on the roster, but that's awesome. I tried to keep in touch with the guys I get signed, especially for my Titans. Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe he was on the roster, but I'm happy nonetheless about that. That's really good. John Franklin Myers is our starting defensive lineman. I mean, yeah, that interior defensive line between Big Jeff and John Franklin Myers, that should be like, that's really one of the things I'm most confident about for our roster. I mean, Big Jeff, led defensive tackles in sacks and pressure rates, right? Best defensive tackle in the league by a pretty good amount. Right, there's a good reason, right? He deserves being the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. And then John Franklin Myers. So Big Jeff had 11.5 sacks, I'm pretty sure. Then John Franklin Myers John Franklin Myers, he wanted to go to Tennessee from the Broncos. He was talking about, and he did. And I was checking up his stats earlier. Last year, he got 7.5 with Denver. So if Big Jeff and Franklin Myers play the same way they played last year, 11.5 plus 7.5 is 19. So that'd be 19 sacks between our interior defense line. Not saying they will play the same way they will. Both of them were career years. But I mean, with Robert Saleh's coaching, they really could. Defensive end. Jacob Martin is our starting edge rusher. Keldrick Folk and Jalen Harrell. No, Keldrick Folk deserves that start. I mean, first round pick. Really, we knew he'd do good. I'd take him, right? And then even Jalen Harrell, he's shown some promise. I feel like Jalen Harrell could stay on the roster. Yeah, Keldrick Folk deserves to start. And then we'll go to linebackers, but if Keldrick Folk deserves to start for the linebackers, or for the edge rushers, then Anthony Hill deserves to be the starter for the linebackers, right? I mean, I know he was a second round pick, 57th overall, yeah. I know. But like, Robert Saleh said it's his dream linebacker. I'd start him over Mohamed Diabate. I'd put Anthony Hill starting the linebackers. And then third stringer is Manny Powell. Then we've got Cedric Gray. Yeah, I mean, what was he? Third in tackles. He got over 150 total tackles. He definitely wasn't the best in coverage, but when it comes to tackles, yeah. And then pair Cedric Gray, who had a great season, right? Over 150 tackles, right? One of the best Titans. And you pair that with Robert Saleh's coaching when the entire 49ers roster was injured. He was coaching these backup young linebackers and was using them to his advantage to become great linebackers for that year. So Cedric Gray should have a breakout year. He's on pace. Lots of people have called that, and I'm calling that too. Then we have Dorian Musai and Sean Brown. Alright. Linebackers. Then we have Cody Barton. Got in the Sign My Football. James Williams Sr. and Dominique Hampton. Okay. Cody's getting the start. I mean, yeah, he had a lot of interceptions. Not the best in tackles, right? Or just lockdown coverage, but he was able to get some picks for us. Guess I'd take that. Definitely want to start Anthony Hill. Right, all three. Right, our three first picks all deserve to be starters. Okay. Cornerbacks. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, this is probably our second biggest need behind offensive line. I mean, it was, again, a big need in last year. I mean, Roger McCreary got traded to the Rams, which, yeah, I'm thinking about that now. I haven't heard about him in a while, but then you're pairing Trent McDuffie up with Roger McCreary as a solid corner. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., we traded him to the Jets for a bag of chips in, like, what was it, a quarter on the side. It's a bonus. L'Jarius Sneed, yeah, he was talking about returning back to his 2023 form with the Chiefs, right? About going back to his prime, but he did nothing He actually had a lockdown game against the Rams and did decent against the Broncos, but that was week 1 and 2. That was it. That was it for him. Did nothing else really. He said who when someone asked him about Nico Collins going up against him, you know, the 7th best receiver in the NFL. Got injured again and then got released by my Titans. But yeah, cornerbacks. We got Alontae Taylor. Yeah, I agree with these cornerback rankings. Don't know who Micah Robinson or Mario Goodrich is. I mean, a lot of these players I don't know. Right? We're still learning. Nickel cornerbacks, Marcus Harris, yeah. Lost Jalen Armour Davis. I mean, Marcus Harris is really the best cornerback we got besides our signings in Cordell and Alontae. I'm excited to see Alontae wearing 24 of Tennessee. I feel like 24 suits him well. Nickelback, so yeah. Nickel cornerback, like I said, Marcus Harris, and we got T. Drain and Callaghan and Jalen McMurray. If Marcus Harris gets injured, I expect Alontae to play nickel cornerback. He should be good. I heard that he's good about that. Like I said, you know, only don't know too much. But I know enough to give you the information that I know. Cordell Flotz, cornerback. I mean, yeah, he's what I've heard. He's been doing good in training camp. That did a good job as a corner. Then Joshua Williams, Nazir Johnson. Okay, cornerbacks I agree with. That's good. Like I agree with the rosters, but like I said, we can only do so much. We're coming off of 3-14 years, so I mean, sure we had over $100 million in salary cap openings. But I mean, we also had to re-sign Big Jeff and Big Pete. And I mean, there's only so much you can do. I like what we've done for now. We focused on building the offense around Cam Ward. We got, you know, Carnell Tatum, Wan'Dale Robinson. That's 2 young receivers. One of them's a rookie, right? They're good. They're best receivers on our team by far compared to last year. And we've let our other young receivers develop, right? Halfbacks, we kept that the same. We drafted Nick Singleton in the late round to provide some young depth who can hopefully be good. And offensive line, yeah, we regressed. We lost Lloyd Cushenberry and Kevin Zeitler. But next year we'll focus on the offensive line and building up that cornerback depth. Okay, so safeties, we got Monty Hooker. I mean, hopefully he can go back to his 2024 form. He had like 8 interceptions and he was a lockdown safety that year. Then behind him, Tony Adams, Eric Hallett, and Derek Kinsine. Then with him, we got Kevin Winston Jr. I mean, yeah, like I said, a young rookie set for a breakout year, I'd say. I mean, Robert Saleh coaching him, right? One of the best, I've said it over and over again, one of the best defensive masterminds in the NFL. He dealt with injuries a lot of last year. If he wasn't injured, he would have been like, he would have been a really good cornerback. Right, he would have been like a consistent starter. And then Amani Hooker could be a pretty good duo. But besides him, our depth is struggling. Kendall Brooks, Jarek Reed II, and Bishop Fitzgerald. You know, Kevin and Bishop, they both signed my Titans sal. They both signed my Titans sal. And, both cool dudes. I mean, Bishop Fitzgerald, the guy at the Titans, or John Cena tattoo, the "You Can't See Me." If he gets like a big hit, a tackle for loss, or interception, even, he should do the "you can't see me." But sadly, I don't see him making the starting roster. I mean, he's a guy that put on the practice squad. He's young, undrafted free agent. I'm assuming he's a rookie because we didn't draft him. So, yeah. Then, we'll move on to special teams here. About the same, kickers, Joey Sly. I mean, I miss Nick Folk. He was good. One of the best kickers in the league. And I miss Ryan Stonehouse too. I mean, Tommy Townshend, our punter, he shouldn't be terrible, but should be about the same level as Johnny Hecker. Joey Sly, though, he's really been struggling. I feel like Titans are open to getting a new kicker. I've heard Titans podcasters and people talk about it, right? We could use a new kicker, like Younghoe Koo, maybe, some free agent out there. Younghoe Koo's looking a bit washed up. That's another thing. We're struggling in kickers. Tommy Townshend, he should be alright. Nothing special. The punt holder, Tommy Townshend, and then Mitchell Trubisky. Punt returners, kick returners, Shamiri DK, of course, Mason Kinsey backing him up as the punt returner, and Michael Carter backing him up as the kick returner, and then lawn snapper, we all know it, Morgan Cox. He's been our lawn snapper for a long time, even a team captain last year. So yeah, that is the Tennessee Titans depth chart. Like I said, there's some guys that I would move higher and some guys I would put lower, but for what it's worth, this is a fun, exciting, young roster, right? Like, obviously, the bar's low. If you're rooting for any team with, that had 7 or more wins, then having your team going 8-9 doesn't sound too exciting. Maybe even if you're a 6-1 team, you want to get too excited over an 8-9 record. But for back-to-back 3-14 seasons, and then 6-11 before that, and then 7-10, like I said, it's been my prediction for a while, and I'm still sticking with an 8-9 record. So with what I've seen, an 8-9 record, that sounds like a playoff spot for me, right? That sounds really good if we could get 5 more wins. I mean, our team has improved so much. Yeah. I'm excited to watch the preseason games. I mean, in case you don't know it already, I've stated this a lot of times before. I'm a Titans fan in Indiana, so, right, there's not going to be preseason games that you can just tune into on live TV. If there was, then I would watch it, but sadly not. This has definitely been the off-season where I paid a lot of attention to the NFL. Yeah, that's it for the video. I had a fun time making this, going on to the Titans Talk podcast, so I'll see you all later. That's it. And as always, tighten up, Titans Nation.